Hello, everybody. Dave Neal here, stand-up comic and host of Bachelor Nation News. So much to get into today. This video is going to be about Jamie, the villain of Michelle's season of The Bachelorette. Yep, that's right. They just had the third episode last night, and she's already kicked off a villain. You know you're a good villain when you can't make it to the end of episode 3. He was kicked off before the rose ceremony, given the boot, shown the door, and caught an Uber right out of the mansion. All right, so we'll get into that. Do me a favor, follow me on Instagram at DNeals, and don't forget, if you haven't already, hit the subscribe button. I've got this great package that was sent to me here. Hip hip hooray to 50K from our good friend Jen in Canada. I'm gonna open this when we hit 50,000 subscribers. So do me a favor, get on there, make sure you're subscribed. So many people say, I thought I was subscribed, but I wasn't. Sometimes YouTube will unsubscribe you. So do yourself a favor and get up on that. All right, we're gonna get into Jamie's story here. A few different things to talk about. First, is he really a biotech CEO? A lot of people are questioning Jamie because he came off great on the first episode, I should say episode 2, when he had a date that went rock climbing. He came off really great. By the end of that episode, everyone was like, whoa, no, Jamie's a liar. He started a lie. He inceptioned this image about Michelle possibly being there for the wrong reasons. The lead of the show on episode 2, and it caught up to him on episode 3, and we're going to get into that. He's posting a lot on his Instagram. Now the title of this thumbnail says, Villain Goes Down Swinging. Yeah, he's taking shots at production, at the fan base, at a lot of different people, and he's selectively sharing some hate that he's receiving as well. I'm going to share that with you guys. As we've talked about, oh, look, I finally have a trigger warning button here. Can you see my trigger warning? Hold on, maybe you can't see it here. There should be a trigger warning. There it is. There it is, folks. Trigger warning. Look at that. I made that just for you guys. How progressive of me. So we're going to talk about his mom who died by suicide. Of course, that's tragic and horrible. What a nightmare, right? His whole package. When we watched the show, what a nightmare to have to deal with something like that. Not receiving the treatment she might have needed to help her get the mental health issues and all that jazz. That's not an excuse for what Jamie did. He will share some information about his mom, I'm guessing in an attempt to take some of the heat off of him, whether it was consciously or subconsciously, and we'll share all that. And look, we can dissect this. And the truth is, we watched an edited show. Maybe Jamie's not that bad of a guy. We really don't know. It's one of those like innocent till proven guilty. But as far as the public opinion goes in Bachelor Nation, he's a slime ball. They want him out. Unlike someone like Brendan Moraes, who had hundreds of thousands of Instagram followers, Jamie's got 3,000. So he's not going to lose a big following. He didn't really have one in the first place. He will lose opportunities he might have gained if he never told a lie. Maybe he would have gotten 50,000 or 100,000. It has some equity to, go on podcast. At this point, it's dead on arrival. So here's what he posted before the episode, and then I'm going to tell you what he posted after, and then share with you the information from this website. Is he really a CEO? We'll read some of the Yelp reviews and all that. So stick around for that. Trust me, it's very fascinating. This probably could be a couple separate videos, but we're going to get into it all right now. So before the episode, he knew something bad was coming, so he posted this mea culpa beforehand. Personally, I wasn't too impacted by the trolling. I know what happened. I know who I am, and I know the things I've done. That won't be impacted by a comment or DM. But something I hadn't considered was how my friends and family that care about me would be impacted by all the negative messages, and how they would feel upset about it. This week, if you feel the need to leave a comment for them and for yourself, let's keep it respectful. I don't want my circle or you, a stranger, having to feel bad about things said because of a TV show. It's not worth it, and it's not what I signed up for. I hope that when you watch the show, it's entertaining for you. If there's meaningful moments, even better, but remember, when you turn off the TV, we're back in the real world, and it's not the same. Much love and respect to you all and Bachelor Nation. It's my pleasure to keep getting to know you. Of course, he posted this before the episode, and I agree with this sentiment that you shouldn't text someone's friends or family. You should be able to offer your criticism to him directly if you want. Otherwise, Jamie, turn off your DMs. I totally get it. I get a ton of love, and I get some hate here too. I totally get it. It's infuriating when a stranger will call out you or go to your family. I can't imagine how irate that would make me feel. So let's go to the next slide here. Then he posted a few things, just sharing some things. Who wants an invite to tonight's Bachelorette viewing party? 85% said no. Now watch this number, because I said no. 85% said no. You'll see when he posted it before the episode, 85% said yes. And of course, that changed quickly. So look, 85% on his poll said they wanted to go to the viewing party. But of course, after the episode, that quickly changed. So this is his post about his mom. He shared this last night right as the episode was airing. Last week marked the 9-year anniversary of my mother passing. It's a terribly sad and tragic story. Mindful that in telling my story, I've also shared our story. I love you and I love our progress in this life's journey. So many more steps for us to take, and I'm so blessed we get to take those steps together. I think that was his sister who posted that, or he reshared it. Either way, now the hate begins. It's one thing to be a toxic, narcissistic psycho. It's another to play with a kind woman just for your own sick reasons. Your actions are so nasty. I can't disagree with that summation of what went down. He played with her emotions. He created a lie, stirred it up around the whole community so that he could present that to Michelle just to see her reaction, to see if it was almost like if you like, it'd be like if you went to your girlfriend, hey, I know you made out with my best friend last weekend, in the off chance that she's going to admit to it, even though you have no proof. And then she goes, I didn't make out with him. And you go, good, that's what I thought. And you walk away. You're like, what? So that's wild. And of course, someone says, you're not out of anyone's league, the audacity. He said he was out of the league of all the other guys that were there. He thought he was off mic. He said Michelle is treating it like she's on spring break, which I believe I'm characterizing that as slut-shaming her, because when he says spring break, he doesn't mean like she's going out to do a yoga retreat. He's talking wet t-shirt contest and Jello shots and hooking up with people, which also, do what you want to do. You know what I mean? But that's not what she did at all. So he said, it's already going down in the DMs. If you know me, love me, and or care for me, don't worry about trying to defend me to this crowd. It's not the time, place, nor necessity. People that were looking for someone to be angry about or towards found it. I'm unfazed. They'll be on to their next trigger, next episode, and next season. I know very little about this show and Bachelor Nation, but it seems pretty clear this is the pattern for some of them. Everything is the same for me. Much love and respect, and I extend that to everyone. May you find a way to treat the situations and people you don't like with grace. Remember, it's not for them, it's for you. Great. I do like this sentiment. Grace is not for the other person, it's for you. Treat other people with kindness because it'll help you live in a more forgiving world. I totally respect that. And I also think that if you're going to be the villain of the season, you are going to get a lot of people reaching out to you. I'm about to share some of those comments with you guys, and they are brutal. Some of these comments are brutal, below the belt, have nothing to do with Jamie and the way he acted last night. We're going to read those and then separate those comments from the actual criticisms we have of him, because a couple comments that are below the belt don't mean that there isn't something to actually discuss here. And then Francesca at Barstool says, we have included producer footage. Jamie is getting the villain edit. And he goes, I'm a real villain. You sure are. So here are the negative comments that come in. No wonder your mama offed herself. With a son like you, no wonder. You killed your mama. And of course, that's from a troll, somebody that doesn't have, these comments exist in the world. It's brutal. Bro, it's so crazy they're making you the villain when you're the nice guy. I mean, they are easier guys to paint as the villain. This might come from friends. I'm not really sure. And you can be a nice guy. You can be someone who is a good guy friend, whatever, but you can still be a horrible boss. You can still treat people below you really horribly. You can still treat your girlfriend or the person you're pursuing in very toxic and manipulative ways. People that can manipulate can be really good to their friends, so that people don't realize it's the underlings, it's the power dynamics that's where they sort of become power hungry. Once more, I'm good. He keeps on saying he's good. The more you say, as someone who doth protest too much, I think is the term, right? Internet hate can't touch me. Don't defend me. Don't engage. The same people, it's almost like he's like on the front of a war line. He's, don't defend me. Don't engage. Everyone's like, but we want to. No. The more he posts about it, the more he draws attention to it. It's all good. I'm good. No waiver. It's words on a screen. All love. Well, it's not all love. If I was your mom, I would kill myself too. You probably made her die. You are the reason your mom killed herself. This is not right in any fashion. He says, I don't know what to say. TV entertainment turned to this in a contract that prohibits me from challenging the storyline. ... Free shots for everyone. How long can you go? So he isn't contractually allowed to argue his edit, which, you gotta hear him out. You got to hear him out. Maybe he did explain. And again, I'm reaching and I'm stretching. Get loose. I'm wearing my flannel so I can cut down the BS today. Lumberjack Dave, let's get into it. I am growing out a mustache this month, guys. That's right. I will shave it later this week and do the mustache, so stick around for that if you enjoy. Mustache Dave, let me tell you, he's going to be bringing the fire. Okay. So anyway, he says he can't respond. His hands are tied. And maybe there was a time, maybe he says, look, I do have actual sources that said they saw you out with somebody. I do have all of this X, Y, and Z, and there were other people talking about it. Maybe that was edited out. I don't know. From watching it, we got to see all the guys standing up with him in there and Michelle, and they all said, we don't know what this guy's talking about. So it's pretty much assumed, I mean, as much as things can be edited, it's like the Brendan Murray situation where we listened with our own ears. You can't green screen our ears, right? We listened to what went down. So that's it from him. That's his last post. Read a couple of your comments. Story here. Quick one from Tia, I believe. Let's have a listen.
People come on this show and they think they can just lie and get away with stuff. It is all filmed. It's on camera. You look like a fool.
Wow. Burn from Tia. So a couple of your comments. He's the least self-aware person I've seen on TV on a show that's seen quite a few non-self-aware people. Imagine that. That's a whole lot of words, but absolutely no point. My goodness, could be any less self-aware. This is painful. I just want to double check that I didn't miss. Let me go back to the main page here while I do this. I want to double check and see that I didn't miss any of his latest updates. I think we got it all. Here's another thing I'm going to do for you guys. I got some hilarious voicemails on the live stream last night. Let me play one of the voicemails that starts off sounding like a sex phone operator, but it's actually a perfect description of how people feel after watching Jamie.
Oh my God. I'm in the middle of watching this. It's 9:25 in New York right now. I am watching this and oh my God. Jamie, what to do with you? Oh, so insufferable. Why does the dude always have to raise his eyebrows? Like he's like, okay, girl, now this is when you're gonna kiss me. Like, oh my God. And he's like, what? Oh, I gotta wait for 6 weeks. The fact that she didn't choose me right then and there and pull a Claire. Like, oh my God, like that turns me off.
And it goes on and on and on. So thank you so much for that phone call. We very much love it. And now let's get into Jamie's CEO company BS. First, I want to tell you, I posted this on the Dave Neal community Facebook page, just a shout out of appreciation to all you guys. I did the math. This month, we got 1/8 the amount of views as E-News, but E-News has 4 times the amount of videos, and of course, about 100 times the employees. It's just me and you guys over here. So I wanted to shout everyone out for basically giving us a multimedia company, a entertainment news company that's competing with the likes of gigantic news. So we're out there, Dave Neal's community, if you want to check out some more of that info in the comments there. All right, is Jamie Skaar really a biotech CEO? So this is from realbachelorjobs.com. It's actually pretty good investigative work they've been doing. According to a microbiologist we spoke with, the best case scenario for Jamie's Sanctuaire device is that it doesn't work. So he's got this device. It's essentially like a humidifier that you put bacteria into, and then it's supposed to do something to the air. When we sent them information on the device, they recoiled in horror and said, "What about Legionnaire's disease?" Legionnaire's disease is a type of pneumonia caused by Legionella bacteria, which is spread by devices like air conditioning units and humidifiers diffusing it into the air through their mist. Jamie's probiotic balancing system claims to spread good bacteria by diffusing a microflora mist into your breathing air. So, like I said, it's essentially it's like, how those air purifiers where you add some essential oil. It seems to be that you just add a bacteria solution to this. Anyway, it's we're going to get into some science here, which is interesting to us and further explains that the concerns that microbiologists had. So we'll get into that. According to our microbiologist, as long as the device doesn't do anything to activate the bacteria will likely stay dead and mostly settle to the bottom. However, if the solution is heated or a food source is added, some of the bacteria will come back to life and start to reproduce. Since it's impossible to maintain a sterile culture in a home environment, the device could become contaminated with other potentially dangerous bacteria and fungi. According to the clinic, to prevent contamination, they should be cleaned every 3 days to prevent contamination by and spreading of bacteria. So clearly people aren't going to be doing this. To wrap up today's science class, our microbiologist said, long story short, I wouldn't recommend purposefully inhaling a significant quantity of any kind of bacteria into your lungs. It doesn't even look like the device is Jamie's original idea. It appears to be the exact same humidifier this larger company is selling with a slightly different label. All right, so it's kind of like drop shipping. Like you find another person, you buy it cheaper off of some other company and you sell it at $1 profit, and then you spend money on I don't know, whatever marketing, and it's drop shipping. Interestingly, the marketing for the other suspiciously similar device goes right past pseudoscience and straight into mysticism. They claim to use water from the Sea of Galilee as a suspension agent. Oh boy, here we go. This is one of those mall things. Give me your hand. I want to scrub some things onto it. You're like, no, don't do it. Next thing you know, you spend $700 because you don't know how to say no. It appears Jamie's device is only available via pre-order, so we were unable to test it ourselves. There's a great testimonial on his website. So there's a lot of content to get into. Who's buying the device? There are no we're going to share some information here of who's buying the device, and they're preying, essentially off of older people that kind of can get duped pretty easily. What did Jamie do before he got into biotech? He did Soul Solutions, energy efficiency, and home health assessments. And then we'll read some reviews. These are from some people that worked for him. And again, this is 4 years ago. So this is people that worked for him before they wrote negative reviews because, he was on The Bachelorette. It's a paycheck, not much, but it's a paycheck. I work in the office, and this is by far the most unethical, unorganized company I've ever worked for. They prey on the elderly by lying to them and selling cheap, overpriced products. The CEO is highly demanding of his employees and cares only about money, not caring at all about his customers or employees. I can see why there's a high employee turnaround rate. Next one, my aunt purchased $50,000 in services from this company over the summer. I was appalled to discover that she was completely ripped off for products she could never have installed for less than $15,000 with another contractor, one thing after another. The owner doesn't even live in the same state as the employees, so there's no leadership whatsoever. Organized chaos and an ask for forgiveness, not permission attitude pertains to the entire business. In my time there, I witnessed employees who were promised bonuses, scheduled raises that never happened. An employee walked out on the job for breach of contract. The bigger issue with Soul Solutions today is the complete lack of ethics. This company provides services for twice the cost of other contractors. They also mislead their customers with blatant lies about products to get them to buy while focusing on the elderly. Good people shouldn't take the bait and find themselves a part of something that they can't stand behind. Do your research and ask the right questions. So, not looking good there. Don't fall for the friendly, cheerful presentation. The company does not follow through on promises. Their products are overpriced. Presenter Jamie Skaar makes lots of recommendations with little proof to back up claims. They make promises to make the sale, but sadly don't keep their word. If they can't be honest, do you really want to do business with them? Be very wary of this firm. So there's Dottie 4 years ago saying Jamie Skaar by name. Soul Solutions today is a horrible company. I would not recommend anything like this. What happens with these bad companies is they just rebrand under a new name once they've had enough bad reviews, and then they do it for a few more years, and then they change names, And then here's Dottie again. She goes on Yelp, be extremely wary of Soul Solutions. I wish we could just get a GoFundMe and pay, to raise money for Dottie, but you know what I mean? Yes, Dottie sounds like a nice lady. You're not named Dottie unless you're a nice lady, okay? Dottie, we are sorry that you had to go through this 4 years ago. Yes, the dinner was free and nice. You are, of course, treated to a biased program on solar products with many unsubstantiated promises. The sales agent then schedules a home visit where the sales pitch is ratcheted up as well as all the savings and rebates. All right, so we're not sure whether Soul Solutions is still active. Your nosy friends. So anyway, let's go to this whole website's great because it talks about the creepy jobs in Bachelor Nation, and of course there was a lot of buzz going on about other big contestants that they've gotten here. I'm just waiting for more information to come out because a lot of times it's easy to piece together a couple negative reviews. So as far as Jamie's concerned, it definitely looks sketchy as all hell. Absolutely. And to go along with what we saw on the show, it really makes you kind of like not surprised that he's, got, himself involved in some slimy business practices. So not much else we can say there. But we will have more content because they did make a part 2 showcasing a lot of his old tweets, which at this point, it's like he's obviously going to dismiss himself from Bachelor Nation in the first place. He wasn't going to work out for him. So, but he's still, up until yesterday, posting about how his product helps, people that have mental illnesses and all these other things. Look, it's not wrong that air pollution's definitely a problem, but it's like, are you actually part of the solution and all that? So anyway, he says, he's still in the DMs talking to people, fighting the fight. But as far as we're concerned, pretty toxic stuff. Let me know what you guys think, and leave a comment. We have more content coming your way. We'll see you in a little bit. Bye, everybody.